One thing left to do, win.
Come on in, guys.
Bring in the boats. Grilled cheese. Pizza under the stars.
You gotta dig deep.
We're back, and the monster is hungry.
Where have you been?
Who's starting this off? Hello, everybody. It is Sunday, March 6, 2022, and we are gearing up for season 42 of Survivor that is coming out this Wednesday on Global up here in Canada or on CBS in the States or wherever you maybe get it around the world, however you might consume such things, Paramount Plus perhaps. Wednesday, March 9th will be the premiere. We're here on Super Mater Brothers Podcasting, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch, or you might be listening to us on the audio version. Wherever you might be getting this, we welcome you. We're going to be breaking down this entire cast tonight. We are going to, well, we've already drafted them, and we're going to tell you about each of them in that order. That's basically how we're going. What order our particular group of 8 who draft every year took them in. I'm Dave Mater, joined with my brother Jeff Mater and co-host Jaemeel Robinson, as mentioned here on Super Mater Brothers Podcasting, and the monster is hungry.
It's Survivor. 18 new players take on the most dangerous version of Survivor ever seen.
The most dangerous version ever seen.
No. You're not going to beat Survivor Africa. They almost died.
Well, next to Africa, the most dangerous season we can do legally.
Russell Swan is like, wait, what? He's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's like, I almost died.
Or where Beast Mode Cowboy was
Beast
like,
Mode Cowboy is like,
his eyes were going back in the back of his head or whatever. For that one. Let's well, I want to get into our first pick overall, but let's just like high level, everybody. How are you doing tonight? How are you doing, Jaemeel? Let's start with you.
I'm doing all right. Pull it for my man Moose.
Over at Big Brother Canada 10, you're still feeling your picks because we had our draft 1 week ago for Big Brother Canada 10 here on Super Mater Brothers Podcasting. Now we're in Survivor, which is basically like Big Brother on a beach. So it's in a little bit of faster of a season, but a lot of the similar dynamics. Jaemeel, how are you feeling about this wonderful cast of 18 castaways? Are you excited?
Oh, sure, yeah. I like a regular season, a Muggle season. It doesn't look like there's a bunch of people, looking to start their Instagram careers or their OnlyFans. They're there to make money, and then if they don't, they go back to their regular 9-to-5 jobs.
Yeah, like I think that's definitely the impression I get from looking at this cast photo is that they seem like more average people. Maybe I'm just going based on looks, and not to say any of these people are ugly by any means, but they're a little less polished.
They're not Instagram models. We see that a lot on Survivor, where they cast a whole cast of Instagram models,
or on Big Brother for that matter.
Even the person who quote unquote is like the pageant person, ain't fireworks. Let's just say ain't fireworks.
Yeah. Like, how many people try to get on this show every year? Like millions, right? Thousands?
No, not anymore. Not anymore.
It's maybe at the beginning when it was like a giant show, but now I would imagine they get tens of thousands.
With the Canadian things, probably like multiple tens of thousands now.
Well, yeah, because Canadians were never allowed to until up until this past season, right before this. So now we have 3 Canadian. It was specifically Canadian residents. You could be a Canadian. It was all about whether you lived in the United States or not. Used to be the restriction, and so now there are because one of the Canadian residents is actually I think American. But we're going to get into that all through tonight as we're going to go through all 18 house guests. And with no further ado, we're going to jump right in. Let's go. Number 1,
yes.
So the first, our draft order is random every time. In an evening where we have 18 house guests, but 8 people drafting, that means that the people with the top 2 picks are rewarded at the end, where they get a bunch of extra picks. They get 3 people each, whereas the other 6 of us only get 2 each. Just if you want to follow along at home. Okay, so Jaemeel ended up with the first overall pick. He had the pick for days. He didn't immediately use his pick. He studied this cast. He looked at it. He did his research, and he was like, you know what? This is the man, Jackson Fox, a 48-year-old from Houston, Texas.
Yep, healthcare worker.
Healthcare worker. He describes himself as kind, dedicated, and assertive. He does not like the unorganized people with no schedule that people don't get to the point. No messing around with Jackson Fox.
Favorite hobbies.
Puzzling, weightlifting, dog walking.
Mm-hmm.
What's puzzling?
Doing puzzles.
Okay. I never heard it described as puzzling.
What would you call it? I like doing puzzles.
I would call it doing puzzles or solving puzzles. Jeff, what are your impressions of Jackson?
I think he's either going to go out really early or he's going to get in an alliance and kind of ride that alliance. I don't see him navigating this game solo.
That makes sense. He seems like he's going to be the grumpy dad to me.
Yeah, that's kind of my impression too. He's kind of like, you're 48 and you let things bother you this much. I'm not so sure that's going to work out for you.
He runs his own company.
Yeah, well, that should help him.
I think it's a negative because I think he's going to be used to being the boss.
Well, yeah.
Healthcare worker.
He runs his own healthcare company.
Yes.
Well, in the States, though. I mean,
in the States.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know about that. I don't know. We'll see. I know I'm not quite sure what to make of him yet. So when he went first, I was kind of surprised because I was probably gonna pick him at the end if he was around. But
he talks a lot about his faith in things in his bio. He in terms of the survivor player he wants to be most like it, he mentions Elaine.
Yep.
Biscuit all the way. She was hardworking, confident, resilient, and played a hell of a mind game. You couldn't
risk it for the biscuit.
See, when people say I want to play like someone like Elaine, I'm like, so you want to have the same personality as Elaine? Because that's kind of how she was, she kind of rode her personality, and so I always find that a strange comparison, because when you say someone like that, because they're very unique, and be like, I want to play like Rupert. Oh yeah, how? How do
I want to steal things like a pirate.
Right. And
people don't not anymore. People don't think of Rupert like that anymore. People think of him as like a blubbering mess who
Yes.
Rupert isn't Rupert anymore to how he was. Unless they're like OG Rupert. The way I look at Jackson is Jackson seems physically capable, right? But not in an overwhelming, I'm going to be a comp beast, kind of way. He looks like an anchor, a person who's going to be on the team, is going to hold his own, but not going to overwhelm anyone.
He's the first boot of the game, Jaemeel. I'm sorry to tell you.
Sorry, he is not a model. He is not.
He's gonna be. We're like, let's get rid of this guy. He's so bossy around camp.
I have the same sort of impression that it could go that way, Jaemeel. I'm surprised you took to him so high. I like that you believe in him, but I'm just not sure.
I absolutely believe in him, and we'll see. I think we have our first trans winner right here.
Who?
Jackson.
Jackson's trans?
I used to be a girl. It says in his bio.
What?
I used to be a girl. Period. What's something we never would know from looking from you? I used to be a girl.
Wow. Wow. I did
Wow.
not.
Some people did not read through the bios.
I didn't.
Well,
I
skimmed. I skimmed.
I used to be a girl. Yeah, I did. I missed that line. It's a short line, but it says a lot.
Says a lot.
Says a lot. I think that Jackson. I think Jackson is the complete package going to win.
Okay, well, maybe we'll see. Jackson Fox. All right.
Okay, hold on. I can understand why you would have that impression, but I'm looking at the other people that would be considered like top tier picks, and I didn't really feel any sort of ways about them that they're going to last. They stick out like sore thumbs, and like I don't think I think it's going to be an offbeat winner, just like last season.
Let's talk about our number 2 pick then. Okay, number 2 overall was Daniel Strunk, a 30-year-old from New Haven, Connecticut, on the Vadi tribe. We didn't mention Jackson is on the Taku tribe, the Orange tribe. So here we have Daniel from the Green tribe. I don't know if is it better to refer to them by their names or their colors, just so we can keep it straight.
Colors. No one cares about Taki and no one's saying that.
So Jackson on orange, Daniel on green. Okay, so here we got Daniel. Daniel is a law clerk, originally from Cincinnati, but now in New Haven, Connecticut. He's a movie fanatic, loves Legos. He loves keeping track of things. That's like me.
OCD.
He collects signed pocket U.S. constitutions by like Supreme Court justices.
Oh,
that is a new level of nerd.
Like he is a law clerk nerd.
Yeah, that's like a couple steps higher than collect Starfleet uniforms.
Yes.
Well, he brags that he has an autograph from the former U.S. ambassador to Estonia. Like, this is some really specific stuff.
Do you have an autograph for the ambassador to Estonia? That is a big gig.
I don't think that's going to connect with anyone. I don't think
words to describe you. Ebullient.
Oh, I gotta get my thesaurus, my dictionary out here. Ebullient and driven.
Lord.
Ebullient is cheerful and full of energy.
Like, who is one of your heroes and why? George Washington, for being one of the few to ever resist power of that magnitude. Oh, and Rhodey Evans, for putting his life on the line to do what was right.
Like, he seems like a good guy. His chances here at Survivor, I'm not sure yet, quite frankly, but he seems like somebody worth cheering for because he seems like he's just
more so than Jackson.
I think, equal to Jackson. I'm not saying that Jackson's not worthy of cheering on, but he just there's something more here with Daniel than I'm maybe clicking with so far.
Daniel to me seems like he's going to get frustrated and just like freak out on his tribe mates.
Daniel says that he's a cancer survivor as well, and he's religious, and he collects the constitutions, and he says that cancer survivors don't go anything less than full throttle.
Yep.
And his biggest pet peeve is oatmeal raisin cookies masquerading as chocolate chip cookies. That is nefarious.
Both of them are fine. His who does he play the most like? He put Fabio and obvious winners. He would model his game after Yule and Todd.
I don't
see Yule here or Todd.
I don't get why Amanda picked this guy so high. I mean, he is a super uber duper history nerd, so I got to give him that one. But at the same time, he's
like you. That's her type.
Yeah, that's why she picked him, I guess. But man, I don't know. I just don't know if this guy is going to connect.
I don't get any like vibe from him. He seems like wallpaper.
Well, maybe as we go through the other castaways and we talk about who else is on green and who might be able to work with him or not, maybe we'll get a better sense of it. Because right now we only talked about 2. Okay, so number 3, I had the 3rd overall pick, and you got sometimes you got to go for the homers, guys. You got to go for the hometown heroes. And being Miss Canadian, I chose to take Omar Zahir. A 31-year-old, originally from Kitchener, Ontario, Canada, now living in Whitby, Ontario, Canada. A little bit about Omar as I just go over to his bio quickly.
I'm not a fan of this bio.
What do you mean?
Okay, first of all, let's start with pet peeves. People who complain about the cost of vet care. How many people are doing that? Seriously.
Very specific.
Well, he's a veterinarian.
I don't care. Anyway.
But it's expensive, though. He has to realize that.
Yeah, he thinks that because you know what, all us Canadians, we're so used to our health care up here with OHIP, and then everyone thinks that the animals are in the OHIP, Jeff, but they're not.
The animals don't pay taxes.
They don't pay any taxes, so they get nothing.
Right. Rudeness. Like, all right, I he's not the only one, but everybody with their pet peeves, it's like, yeah, it's not. These are not great pet peeves, by the way.
Wait, is that everyone's like favorite thing in the world? I love rude people. When people are rude to me, it's the best. Or are you indifferent to rudeness at the best thing?
Feeding seeds to parrots. How many? I guess you're a vet, but Jesus, that's specific.
He thinks in vet terms.
Jim Grunters. Okay, that one
Joey
I can
from
understand.
Friends, you heartless heathen.
Well,
of all the characters on Friends, Joey is the one that bothers you. He's like the only one that's really funny, other than Chandler.
The next one. Put the
the
next one.
next one's the best.
The fact that mini wheats have gelatin.
What?
Like, can't you eat something else that's like? Does he eat mini wheats and go?
He loves mini wheats, but his pet peeve is that they have gelatin in them,
Which
Jeff.
you can't probably eat.
Yeah, and there's probably some kind of battle with him and gelatin. It's tough.
When people talk bad about pigeons, what? Who's he meeting at the office? And, even if he's a vet, and goes, man, these pigeons, they're being pigeony all over this park, and I can't have it anymore.
Well, some people call them like the rats of the sky or whatever. Like they're kind of like gross, and people like disparage them, especially in urban environments. So he's standing up for the pigeons,
right? And then he follows all of that up with institutional racism.
Well, above all things, institutional racism.
He did not say above all things.
Well, he did, but he's like last but not least.
Joey from Friends is a worse pet peeve than institutional racism.
Oddly specific.
You think it would just be the show Friends, but no, it's Joey.
So he's an odd one. Dave, what made you pick this guy? If this guy was from Washington, like Seattle, Washington, would you have picked him? Be honest.
I think so. I like this guy. He's a good guy. Would
you like Settlers of Catan?
Never played it. He never played it. Look at him.
Okay, no. Do you know what he was saying? Okay, he loves Rob Cesternino and his strategic prowess. He understood the power dynamics, so he's a fan of Rob has a podcast, and I think that knowledge alone gives him high potential to do well in this game.
Okay, so they asked him what accomplishments he's most proud of. He's most proud of setting my mind to becoming an exotic animal specialist from undergrad. Is he like Tiger King? Okay.
No, he's like a real vet.
It is more difficult to get into vet school than med school in Canada, and the avian exotics residency has the lowest admission rate of any specialty, 3 to 5%. I'm also proud of maintaining my Muslim values while living in a Western world. Abstaining from alcohol, pork, and premarital sex. Oh my God, that is very religious. Okay. No matter how hard it may be, I'm also proud of the resilience I didn't know I had within me to deal with my father's death in 2017. Okay.
Look, get to the part where he says, "Why do you believe you can be the sole survivor?"
Okay. What? Yeah. So, why do you believe you can be the sole survivor? He says, "Quote: They must adapt, or they'll be voted out of the game." End quote. Which is Probst. A statement that has not changed. You can look to nature and Darwin's theory of evolution and see how the fittest survive, but the fittest may not be the lion in every situation. My ability to adapt, connect with others, understanding strategy, and how to manipulate numbers, and most importantly, social awareness of myself and others are the key ingredients to success. I am not going to leave everything to starve on an island to let someone else win. I am playing for me and my family.
Call him the evolution. He's the evolutionist survivor right here. Omar Zahir. Watch out. He is the Darwin.
I'm not impressed with
Oh my God.
Jaemeel, are you impressed?
No, I know. Who does he play like most? Rob Cesternino's strategic prowess. He wants to have Siri, her sit, wait, and strike strategy is savage.
Tyson Sass.
No, like What was that? What was that comment?
It was about somebody else's pick, and is actually our next pick in the draft. So it's a good segue. So the comment here was Chanel Howell is the winner pick for DM Rocks, and Jenny being their runner-up pick. So that's a good segue because Chanel is our next overall pick.
Yes, let's move on from this guy who's not obviously.
Omar is going to win this game.
He's not going to win.
Just so you know, but
I don't even think he's going to sniff jury.
Maybe it will be Chanel. Sean's pick, our friend Sean, who Chanel is a 29-year-old from New York City on the Green Tribe as well. So she's on there with Daniel. Omar on the Orange Tribe, if we didn't mention that yet, on there with Jackson. So Omar, do you think Omar and Jackson can work together?
No,
not working
Jackson,
together.
vote him out.
Yeah,
immediately.
So what do you guys? What do you make of Chanel? She lives in New York City, but she's from Connecticut. It says an executive recruiter whose hobbies include exploring new countries, trying new cuisines, and blogging them about it. Describes herself as cunning, competitive, and cultured. She hates slow walkers. It's the New York City in her, even though she's from Connecticut. But that's near New York City.
Once you live in New York City, you become a New Yorker.
You are like assimilated, right?
Yes.
It's like becoming a Borg.
I'm walking here.
A lot of her responses are actually quite brief compared to like Omar's.
Yes, she isn't long-winded like Omar.
Omar, he tries harder. He gives him effort. He's very proud of that. Here we got Chanel. She says she's a student of the game. She's watched all the seasons. She's studied the greats, knows the nuances. The subject matter of Survivor is in her blood. Aside from having the tool belt to win, her motivations are to push through the cold nights and hungry days. And want to show that Black and brown girls, that this game was made for us too.
Yeah. Certain things I like about her, other things not so much. I don't think she has much to say. To say like, oh, I've studied all the greats, I've learned the nuances. It's kind of like saying like I want to know like why your personality is good. I don't care what you've watched. I've watched all that stuff too. I
watched LeBron James play most of his career. I'm not LeBron James.
Right. That's kind of how I feel about those answers. So it's like I get like maybe you don't want to give too much away in your bio or whatever, but at the same time, like you got to tell me something about yourself other than like you're a recruiter, like what you do. Like Omar, at least
do it. Like how do you do it? Like what is your job bringing to this game? What are you bringing to this game?
Right.
Like no, you're talking about theories and like who you play the game most like. Kim Spradlin. Stop. You're not Kim. Okay,
Kim is Kim. She thinks she might be Kim.
Kim is Kim, okay? There was a lot of Kims, people who said they're Kim, and there hasn't been another Kim. You're not Kim.
Yeah, good luck. Like I agree. Like I think I'm just like not so sure. Like which like you've watched all the seasons, and they ask her like what's Survivor the most like, and she says like one sentence. Kim Spradlin, she played the perfect game, so just trying to keep that same energy. That's all you have to say. Like
I think that's how she's thinking. I think she's thinking in terms of like, how do you look at that winner? And and she wants to be a hero on TV.
Yeah, Kim won because she had energy. So she's just channeling the same energy to win.
Right. That's not what Kim won.
But, so she's over here. She's over here in this Green Tribe with Daniel. Maybe we'll have more of a sense of this Green Tribe near the end. But I don't know. We'll have to see. Like, who do we think that Chanel will even work with from that Green Tribe? Who will be her ride or die, if anybody?
Who's on the Green Tribe with her?
Hi. There's also Jenny. There's Lydia. Daniel, who we talked about a few picks ago, and then Mike Turner.
So not Daniel.
Ooh,
that's a bad tribe. That tribe's going to get decimated.
I don't see like an automatic. I guess Chanel. I could see Chanel working with Jenny, but like they're not exactly like an obvious pairing. So
I don't see this tribe doing well.
Nope.
No.
This is
challenge wise.
This will be the bad tribe, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah.
Good thing I have nobody on this tribe. All right, moving on. Let's move on to pick number 5. Jane was trying to take this even before Sean took Chanel, giving it all away. The pick is Drea. As I just try to go. Sorry. Drea. This is Drea, right?
Yeah, this is true. 35.
Drea Wheeler, 35 years old, lives in Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
I love the sack she's wearing. It's great.
Yeah.
What brand of potatoes usually come in it? I'm sorry, I'm a hater. I'm a hater.
You're a hater on this Andrea.
I'm not.
Really?
I'm a hater on that dress. Sorry.
I don't think it's a good one to wear out on the island. If that's what she's wearing, that's going to be a bad
Well,
it'll
this
be
isn't a full
comfortable,
body shot. Oh, you're looking at the full shot from her bio. Yeah, so
when that gets wet.
she's a fitness consultant. She likes to work out and then
What does
give
that
to
mean?
charity.
I have to ask Dave. What does that mean? Fitness consultant? Is that like a trainer?
Guess.
She's probably higher than the trainer. She's probably like sits down and signs people up to the gym.
Okay.
So not necessarily a personal trainer, but like a person who works at the gym, signs people up in the offices, and she gets free use of the gym.
She was an All-American track runner.
Okay, that'll help in certain challenges. Nothing after post merge. But
she's originally from San Antonio, Texas, but she lives in Montreal now. Interesting. I'd like to know that story. She ended up there. Her pet peeve, guys, dishonest people.
Perfect game for it. Perfect.
Wait, who likes dishonest people? Who is that not a pet peeve for?
Yeah, and like
Russell Hands.
Russell Hands,
right? Well, yeah, and you're playing a game like that's all about dishonesty. It's nothing about it, So it's strange that so many people are saying the same thing. Like, I don't like when people lie. It's like, okay, great. Moving on. Okay. What is something we would never know about you? She says, I have a fear of death. I come off as super confident and strong, which I am, but deep down, I do fear the end. Jesus,
like everyone does. Like deep down,
some more so than others.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die. Oh my god!
She says that to somebody like, I fear death.
Deep down, I don't know about you, but deep down, I fear death. Yeah, of course you do. But yeah, she's a runner. She loves to run, and that's kind of mostly what she talks about in her bio: being strong, being a competitor. It looks like her father died and left her with the kids, and her mom raised her on her own, and she had kind of a rough go.
She compared herself to Kelly Wentworth.
Kelly Wentworth.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Why not?
So that means you already know she makes jury. What her jury question is going to be? Pick a number between 1 and 10.
Now, Drea is the first member of the Blue Tribe, the Ika tribe that we are talking about right now. So not on with anybody else we've talked about so far, but that tribe does include Zach and Tori and Swati and Romeo and Roxroy.
They'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
Yeah,
the Green Tribe's going to do bad.
That Green Tribe is going to get decimated. So I think we will be seeing a lot of Drea. At least probably I could see her making the merge just on winning the challenges with her team, right? If she's that good of a runner and maybe even a swimmer too, who knows? Yeah. They could do very well in these challenges. But I think that like mostly what I'm getting from her bio is just like she's just like a competitor. And that kind of player, I think, can do well in Survivor. They're just focused. If they're not taken out, like as soon as usually, like once you get into the merge, like those kinds of people are targeted unless they win out.
As long as they're not a game bot.
Yeah. So we'll see about Drea. Moving on to pick number 6, Zach Wertenberger, a 22-year-old from Los Angeles, right? No, St. Louis. I'm sorry, St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah. Well, that's where he lives. He's from Florida.
He's from Florida. I'm just trying to find my picture of here he is. Zach.
Look for that awkward smile.
Yeah. I like the shirt.
I like some of his answers too. Like this pet peeve: people who don't tip. I used to deliver pizza, so it's a pretty big deal for me. See, like that. He's 22. He has actually a good like answer to that question.
Well, he says he's clever. That's one of the 3 words he uses to describe him, Jeff.
My biggest one is like when the bill is $19.95 and the customer handed me a 20 smiling and said, "Keep the change." Oh, really? I get to keep your nickel? Wow, thank you so much. Like that, a good answer. I actually, like credit where credit is due.
Zach was drafted by Jen. Zach is also on the blue tribe with Drea.
He'll be fine.
He'll be good, I think.
Any kind of like athletic background? It looks like
they got. All right, can I suggest one thing? They have to amend one of the questions here. All right, other than your parents, who is your hero and why?
Yeah,
should be the question.
Right, because everyone says my parents.
Of course.
Right.
No, someone says Elon
George
Musk.
Washington. The one guy said George Washington.
You have Elon Musk coming up.
Elon Musk too. Yeah.
He says that his hero is Ethan Zahn for being the first Jewish person he ever saw on TV. You didn't see Seinfeld?
Yeah. Really?
I already like him already.
There's a lack of Jewish people on TV. I mean, okay. He must have been pretty young when he watched Survivor Africa too. I mean, he's 22. That was like that came out like
2000.
2001.
2000.
He wasn't even born when that came out. I don't think.
So his parents showed him, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty sure.
So he didn't see him on TV. He rewatched it.
He rewatched it. Yeah, you can get it on Paramount Plus streaming.
Okay, fair enough.
He seems like he's a real like academic, kind of like funny comedy writer kind of guy. He seems like he might be some really good like confessionals, I think, and giving us in testimonials.
Yeah, there's 2 of them. There's 2 comedic folks. So
yeah. Which player will you be most like? Todd Herzog. He played a brilliant game in China where he controlled every single vote from the shadows. So he's from the shadows. We're in a period of Survivor now where the tallest tree is the first one cut. Just look at Edge of Extinction's boot order. You need to build a resume, but you can't let anyone realize how extensive your resume is until it's too late. Todd managed to keep his threat level low while subtly manipulating every facet of the game and revealed everything at Final Tribal Council. I'd also love to mix that with Jeremy's meat shield strategy so that I'm never the first one targeted if things go awry. So maybe we could see Zach working with Drea. Maybe Drea will be his meat shield.
Okay. Almost in every single answer that he answered, he mentions the fact that he works hard. That's a little bit much for me.
yeah,
It's a little like you can say it once, but he said it about 4 times in his bio.
so he wants people to know that he works hard.
And then he says at the end here, I work but I will beat them because I worked harder and because I wanted it more. And the same will be true for Survivor. They ask him, what's something we don't know about you? I work hard. It's like everything's I work hard. I get it because I work hard. It's just like everyone else was smarter, faster, but I got it because I wanted it more. It's just like over and over and over. It's like, dude, like we get it.
You know when I hear that, I think of like day 1 when they're building the camp, and he's like, I'm doing a great job, and everyone's like, this dude's sucking. Building
right. I'm doing great, guys. Yeah, it's a little bit like that.
Yeah, everyone hates you, man.
Just work on the palms. Go ahead and work on the palms. We're cutting the tree.
Where is Buddy? Here he is. Okay, so let's talk about our next pick because I think we've said enough. We can hear about Zach. The next one is Mike Turner from the Green Tribe. Mike is a 58-year-old. He's got to be the oldest person on this cast, right? 58?
He is.
Yep.
Yeah. 58, Mike Turner from the Green Tribe, drafted by Daryl, who's about 58 years old or something like that.
This is if Daryl's like this animal.
Yeah. Like if Daryl was on Survivor, it'd be this guy.
If Daryl could play Survivor as an avatar, it would be Mike Turner.
Mike Turner. He's from Hoboken, New Jersey. What's Mike do for a living? He is a
retired
firefighter. Retired.
He was a firefighter. He's a retired firefighter now.
Brian Quinn, he works for New York, right? He works or he used to. I guess he probably doesn't anymore, but Staten Island and whatever. But okay, so he's from Hoboken, New Jersey, which is adjacent to New York City. He's a gym rat. He likes sports, watching great movies, calls himself
Watching great movies. Whenever someone says watching great movies, the first question you have to ask is, so, what's your favorite movie? And he'll probably say like, yeah, Fast 9. It was such a great movie.
Right.
Like, sure. Watching great
Neighbors
movies.
I love watching great movies, but I hate watching bad movies.
Yeah. It's yeah. It's not very specific, is it?
Yeah.
I like good music, not bad music.
I like his pet peeves. His pet peeves are very specific and very, very narrow. He goes, people ripping open cereal boxes and leaving them open.
His kids probably do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And people who are late.
His kids probably do that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, I thought you were 3 words to describe him.
Loyal, loud, fair.
Yeah.
In that order.
He thinks he's fair.
He thinks he's Boston Rob.
Yes, he's Boston Rob mixed with Brad Culpepper.
Yeah. Okay, so this guy's on the Green Tribe with Chanel and Daniel, who we talked about so far.
Dash of Troyzan.
I can't, like Chanel. I don't see Chanel or Daniel clicking with him. Maybe really.
I think he's going to not fit in right away. Like if he can survive a little bit, he'll be okay. But I think he's an easy let's get rid of this guy first type thing. The only reason to keep him is strength, and he's 58 years old.
Look at his hero question.
You know what I mean?
He goes, "Who's your hero and why?" Not sure if I have any heroes, but I have people I've looked up to and who taught me about life, how to be a father, a hard worker, honest and loyal, like Captain Stanowitz, John O'Brien, Aunt Ruth, and Uncle. Who are just people he knows, I guess. I don't know if I have heroes. What?
Because he's his own hero, probably.
That's
a very odd answer to that question.
That's basically saying, like, what do you mean? Like, you're talking, I'm a hero. Yeah, you're right, Jaemeel. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, why you ask me about myself?
And you're at like the top of Olympus. I don't know who you want me to look up to, but
Is there a mirror that looks down at me because that's who I look up to? Lord. I'm sorry. Like,
okay.
This is what I'm talking about. We're already a couple of people deep in, and I'm like, these people just, there's no one that stands out as like a consensus number 1 pick. So therefore, I looked at the person, I'm like, I think that they have enough tools to be able to get deep into this game. Right? So
let's take a little.
I'm sorry for keep on going back to Jackson, but like, I don't see it. I don't see
What
it.
is this in the comments? Yeah, somebody's saying, "Hi, my name's Donna. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee, and I have a scoop regarding Tina Weston from Survivor Season 2, Australia. Tina and Elizabeth Housebook were offered 4 double stuffed Oreos by Probst if they would rim Colby. No, that's not right. Tina said, "Yeah, this is."
No, finish reading it.
What if they would rim Colby? Rim?
What's that mean, rim? Is that
Like rim their buttholes?
Yeah, that's where my mind went, but I'm not sure if that's true.
Is that
sounds about right? Because what she's saying about the conservative values here, and then she says, and that is why Elizabeth got casted on The View. That's why. What did Barbara Walters go?
Because of double stuffed Oreos or because of the rimming?
Because of the refusing to do the rimming.
The refusing to do.
And she says, "Y'all know that?" No, I didn't know that. Thank you, Ren. Interesting.
Who's Roger?
Roger. Oh, there was that was in Survivor Australia. That's what she's talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, that was before even Zach was born. That's a long time ago.
I think that is what she means. There's a tongue and a peach, and that can only mean one thing. I mean, there's so much stuff that happens in Survivor that you never hear it. Like you never really see on the show. And and then when something does happen, like when the creepy guy got kicked off a few seasons ago, you're like, oh, okay.
The guy who was like who was Sam Winchester's agent.
Yes, him.
Sam Winchester's agent.
Well,
Jared
Padalecki.
Jared Padalecki.
Okay.
I didn't know he was his agent. But that's interesting. That's but
He
yeah,
was, at least
the thing is, like,
Survivor.
I do think lots of stuff like, kind of occurs that you never hear about, or it comes up way later. But But so until something does happen, they have to address it. Like when Hans got kicked off the show too, and he was gonna fight Philip,
Right.
like that was another moment where I'm sure if they could have, they would have resolved that behind the camera, but they didn't.
So Jeff, we're at the part in the draft where you were picking.
Yes.
You had the 8th overall pick and the 9th overall because it was a snake draft. And so first you chose Jonathan Young, 29-year-old from the Gulf Shores of Alabama.
Yep.
He's a beach guy from the South Shore.
Yep. He likes to work out, spearfish, and surf. He's kind he's interesting.
He's on the Orange Tribe with Omar, my boy Omar.
See, so he says 3 words to describe you: endurance, devoted, and then he fails the test. Mentally strong. That's 4 words now. Okay. Pet peeve. I like this answer actually. Wearing shirts, people who bully others, and people who are disrespectful. I just would have stuck with wearing shirts. That's a great pet peeve.
It's very specific. Wearing shirts is my pet peeve. Why do I gotta wear a shirt? I gotta show off these abs and these pecs, man. Come on.
Right.
He knows who he is. Bro. He's on the beach of Alabama.
Like you already know this guy without even hearing him speak once.
What is the accomplishment you are most proud of? Broke the Guinness World Records for most pull-ups with 100 pounds on my back. Okay, that's an accomplishment. I like that. It's short.
Okay, look at his hero.
He threw up the shaka. I bet he went like this
all the
time. It's like take a shot every time he does this.
What is something we would never know from looking at you? He says, I can sing an amazing rendition of Little Mermaid's Part of Your World. Okay, so he'll connect with the girls.
Come on.
Who is your hero and why? He says Lex Luger. He's a man of God, my physical and spiritual mentor through some of the hardest times in my life.
Which Lex Luger? Narcissist Lex Luger or the all-American hero Lex Luger?
You mean the Lex Express?
Know Lex Luger?
No. He probably does.
Like, does he know? Yeah, I feel like he must know Lex Luger.
NWO Wolfpack Lex Luger?
No. He's probably like Lex Luger who is on hard times. Lex Luger.
Then he said, what survivor will you play the game most like? 1-word answer. Aussie. I don't see it.
Dave, can you do me a favor? Can you pull up how many times Aussie has won Survivor?
I think it's 0, correct?
Yeah, 0. 0.
He did make the end once and lost it by 1 vote. So
to Yule, right?
To Yule.
Yes.
Yeah. That was the closest really. Yeah, I think he ever really.
Yeah, you should never have been that close.
I don't see. All right, but I do think there's interesting comparisons to Ozzy because he says he's a spearfisher. So, and that's what Ozzy was like known for. He went out and spearfished and got food. So, if he can be good in the challenges and provide food, he is coasting to the merge. And then you just have to rely on your personality, And if he has a good personality, I think he'll do good.
I don't know. Yeah, like just the fact that he's a wrestling guy and he's on that Orange Tribe with Jackson and Omar and Jonathan. And your next pick's Lindsay will also be will be part of this tribe. So he seems to be like the main athletic guy for them.
Yeah. He went on a couple of WWE tryouts. He served as a bodyguard for multiple world leaders. Let's see. I'm trying to look up more details on this dude. But yeah, he's had an interesting life.
Let's talk about Lindsay. Lindsay Schwich, from a 31-year-old from Morganville, New Jersey, now living in Asbury Park, New Jersey, a dietitian, and co-ed football in the sand at a bar by the shore. That's her favorite hobby. That's very specific. Snowboarders, paintballing, skydiving, wake surfing. Jeff, also on the Orange Tribe.
All right, so I figured I'm gonna hitch my ride to. I think she's going to align with Jonathan. I think they're going to get along. They're both loud, big personality people, athletic, like to take risks. Thrilling things. That type of personality. I also think I liked some of her answers. That's why, like when she said, like, people are going to be hungry, so like I just feel like she has the mindset to kind of like understand like how other people are going to be in the game and how to navigate it. I don't think she's only thinking about herself, which is good. I think that's kind of what I like to look for is like somebody that's like actually understands that this isn't all about you, like this is navigating a cast of multiple people and trying to get to the end of it.
Like when she says she's like Lauren Beck, self-aware, feel like she does a great job of assessing people's strengths, weaknesses, doesn't play too hard, sort of thing.
She only saw a couple of seasons of Survivor, so that's why she compared herself to Lauren Beck. That's,
Yeah,
Right.
which I think is an advantage sometimes. I think I think a lot of super fans or people watch every season get on there and try to think, like too logically and try to do like what great
game
players
bot.
have done. Yeah, the game bot idea. And I think the better thing to do is just go out there, rely on your personality, try to connect with who's out there, and then navigate from there.
Mhm. Like Lauren wasn't bad per se. She just, unfortunately, that season was just a mess. Once it got to the merge, and with Dan and the whole like voting situation, so she's not bad.
Her
I
entire personality screams Survivor, Jaemeel.
she just doesn't scream first. I don't think she's a first round pick. That's all. A first pick.
She's in the second half,
Yeah,
technically.
which I think she could have been a little bit higher with some of the other choices that were there. Definitely a good pick.
She's no Omar.
I think it's a superior pick to Omar.
Omar's
I
on her
agree.
tribe.
I
Omar's on
agree.
her tribe. Do you think that her and Omar will be allied?
No.
No, I don't think he's gonna.
Do you think Omar and Jackson will work together?
No.
Who's Jackson going to work with?
Everyone.
Everyone but Omar.
Yes.
Okay. And not Jonathan and not Lindsay either. Okay. Well, okay. I don't know. Like, what else? Is there anything else to say about Lindsay? Because she just, again, seems like another intense, talkative, social, kind of athletic person who just,
solid pick, but doesn't, scream immediate, I'm one pick. It's a solid pick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a good little like I think if she does well, like gets to merge. Like if she can get to merge, I think she'll do okay. But
I agree.
But she has to merge, and
I don't think she'll be targeted early. I don't see her going because she'll be good in challenges, and I don't think they'll be looking at her.
Wait, hold on. It's not just the do well in challenges kind of thing. Sometimes they're just like, I'm sorry, I don't like you.
Sometimes, well, we saw that in the last season, right? Where who was it? You watch the whole season, then you forget their names the second it's over. But like the guy that was he wanted to target Erica, Deshaun. Where he just wanted to lose a challenge just so he could vote out Erica because he was tired of the Blue Tribe winning every week. All right. And he was like, oh, we got to get this person out of here because in the merge, it's going to be harder. And he was kind of right about that because Erica eventually went on to win. So, but
if he got his way.
But he didn't get his way. And I think that it's always going to be a hard sell to throw a challenge to a tribe because I think the idea of going to tribal is always going to be scary because it can always be you. And most people will avoid that.
And it was your bro that caused him to not lose the...
I know it was, but it's how it goes. Okay. But yeah, like Lindsay, she's fine. She's like you said, a solid pick, but like I'm not necessarily blown away either by her, and like I'm not super excited.
She's I would say, look, I would say she's a top tier pick. She's in the top part,
top 10 of the cast.
Yeah,
okay. And I wasn't like gung ho to pick her, but at the same time, I thought like of who was left. I wasn't high on really anybody except I might have went with Romeo, but
Romeo
or High.
Where art thou, Romeo?
Did High get taken? Yeah.
Everyone got taken.
Everyone got taken eventually.
It's over.
It's over.
Did High get taken before my pick, Lindsay?
No, High got taken 13.
Yeah, he was the other guy I was thinking about, but I wanted to pick a girl as well. I like to have a guy and a girl usually.
Speaking 10th overall was Roxie Bailey, a 44-year-old from Las Vegas, Nevada, originally from Brooklyn. He's a stay-at-home dad. He plays basketball and golf, and he likes to camp, and he likes to do stuff with his kids.
He lives the dream.
It is the dream. His pet peeves include drivers who don't use their turn signals and someone who just thinks they know everything. Again, nobody likes those things. What is the accomplishment that you are most proud of? I'm most proud of my family. I think a pet peeve has to be something like you're annoyed by that most people are not.
Right.
I think that's maybe what they need to explain to them in that question.
Or it's like
It'd be
something that like everyone might be annoyed by, but it's very specific, like leaving the cereal boxes open or whatever, you know.
Or like
very
people who
specific.
chew too
Right,
loud.
Joey from Friends. He had like 8 pet peeves, Omar, Dave. Like, I mean, you're right.
And systemic racism.
And
Yeah.
systemic racism.
The biggest pet peeve of all.
Yeah,
It's more than a pet peeve, though. It's like a real issue. It's
it's like pet peeves, war. Just can't stand for it.
Murder. That's my pet peeve.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right.
Okay, back to Roxroy. On the older end of this cast, but not the oldest. He's actually an environmental scientist.
Or was.
He's originally from Jamaica, and he's been to over 20 countries.
Cool.
I'd like to know what his partner does. I'd love to know what his partner does.
Yeah, I would love to know that
For the whole
too.
stay-at-home dad, maybe they're
Yeah,
also an
because-
environmental scientist.
Because he says at the end here, you know, what he's playing for is my family and the money, the sum of which would be a life-changing amount of family. It would change their life. But it's interesting because you know, he's a stay-at-home dad, and like what's his partner do?
Showgirl?
Or maybe he's from Vegas, but he's really from New York. I want to know why he's in Vegas.
He's really from Jamaica.
What his partner does, and he's really from Jamaica. I don't know. Very interested.
The high ranking, or she has like an OnlyFans and makes tons of money, but
Because he says his hero, of course, is his mom, always will be. She raised me in the heart of Brooklyn during a time of crack cocaine, murder, and poverty.
yeah,
With her,
look at
with
his
her
age.
love and help, I am the man I am today.
70s and 80s.
Yeah. Well, like 20 years ago, he was 24, and that would have been 2002. So, yeah, I guess he was growing up in the 90s, basically. Yeah, that's what.
Like even the 80s, he would have been.
Partly in the 80s,
He's
yeah.
78. He was born in 78, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So he would have been
he'd
in the 80s. Yeah.
He's around Kevin's age, yeah.
Yeah. In the 80s in New York was not the best of times.
No. In Brooklyn, is maybe particularly. He says he's looking to play like John Cochran. Do you think he'll be writing any future episodes of Star Trek Lower Decks?
Hopefully good ones.
Hit and miss with Cochran. He understands his weakness. Speaking to Cochran, he understood his weakness the second time around, and it strengthened him to compete and win. Has Roxroy played before? And I forgot.
No, but I think the thought process is if you have an understanding of what your weaknesses are, you can, better protect yourself. Because the first time around, Jonathan Cochran was a mess.
Sure.
Right? And a lot of players don't understand what their weaknesses are. And then they're like, oh, I can't believe I got voted out. Right? But if you have that understanding, same thing with Rob. Rob,
how does he know what his weaknesses are? He doesn't know what his weaknesses are yet.
Well, you play the game. Look, this is what the man's saying.
I know, but I'm saying what he's saying doesn't really make sense because he's like, I like how Cochran learned from his mistakes, and I'm going to play like that. What do you mean? You've never played before. How can you learn from mistakes you haven't made yet?
He's planning to learn from his mistakes and hope that he doesn't get.
He's planning to make many mistakes and learn from them quickly.
I just don't think he had a good answer for that question.
Yeah.
I think he's like, I remember that Cochran guy, and because he it was about the lesson that he learned. That's what he gravitated toward. I don't really think Cochran's a good comparison probably for him. I would imagine maybe, I don't know. I need to see his personality, but he seems kind of like a jovial, maybe like a Jeremy.
He's on the Blue Tribe with the people we've talked about so far. He's there with Drea. He's there with Zach, and a couple others, including Tori, who's coming up right next, and Romeo after that. So we're the next 3 picks are all Blue Tribe. Maybe we can move on to Tori. I have to constantly get a quick visual reference on who's Tori.
Tori's the blonde girl.
Tori's the blonde girl. Got it.
The pageant one.
Yeah.
So Tori Meehan, 25 years old, from Tulsa, Oklahoma, now living in Rogers, Arkansas, a therapist. And her favorite hobby is CrossFit, but also playing board games or card games, spending time with her family. She's the middle child of 5 kids. Quirky, warm, and self-aware is what she describes herself as. Okay, let's see if she understood the pet peeve question. When people lack self-awareness, are emotionally reactive, immature, or petty. Everyone that doesn't like those things. Like knowing it's more like things. Anyway, I keep dwelling on this.
This is every year is the pet peeve question is atrocious. But anyway,
What is the accomplishment you are most proud of? She graduated 100% debt-free from her undergrad school. How'd you do that? And she's paid up for 50% of her master's degree already by competing in pageants. Oh, that's how she does it, and earning academic scholarship.
No, she did it because her parents had money. I'm looking at this and I'm like, she paid 50% of her master's degree by competing in pageants. You know who doesn't compete in pageants? Poor people. Okay, poor people traditionally do not.
No, they're not known on the pageant circuit typically.
So I'm just saying. saying.
People tend to stereotype her. She says that though, don't stereotype her. They're surprised when you see how in depth, intelligent, and super nerdy she is.
You know who also says to don't stereotype me? People who are rich who get stereotyped with you're saying that I'm such a nerd. It's like, no, you're rich and you've lived in a quality of life that anytime someone comments on it, you're like, well, you're just saying that because you think of me in this way. It's like you're rich though.
It's like people are like, oh my God, I thought you were the most spoiled rich girl ever. You're just slightly the most spoiled rich girl ever. You know what I mean?
I worked hard to be debt free.
Like,
my mommy. And then
Okay.
I competed in pageants till I won 50%.
She's living the dream, Can we
talk about the hero question?
Yeah. Okay. Who is your hero and why? It would be so cheesy to say this, but Jesus. But I did not want to use this question to explain the importance of my faith. I am a fully devoted follower of Christ, and my life motto is love God and love people. I recognize that there is a higher calling on my life than simply living for myself.
So love God first, then people second.
Yeah.
You're right, Jaemeel.
And yourself.
There's a lot of privilege, and I'm getting a lot of Colton vibes from this girl.
How old is she? 25. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She's looking to play 100% Kim Spratlin, not like who said Kim Spratlin before? Was that Drea?
Why does every girl that was Chanel, I think.
Chanel.
Every girl that seems to be somewhat athletic goes, I want to play with Kim Spratlin. It's like, there were other girls that
she should be saying I want to play like Vesepia. Vesepia was also very religious, right? And she got called out in the end because she lied and backstabbed and had good enough answers to win at the end.
That's
right?
a great comparison.
Vesepia is a perfectly
or
good
Dawn.
answer.
Dawn would be a good
Dawn
other
didn't
one.
win.
Right, but Dawn played that same kind of way.
Yeah, and then she got called up by Brendan at a show her false teeth.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like Kim Spratlin, great at challenges, and she's good social game. And
look, Kim only won once. Okay,
I don't know.
I'm not the biggest Sandra fan. I'm not a big Sandra fan, but a lot of these people thinking that they're gonna beast when a lot of these I don't remember a lot of these people saying Kim are beasts, right? You want to play like Sandra because Sandra had nothing really going for her outside of her social game, right? And even then, it wasn't like she was pretty hard to deal with, right? But she was smart enough to pick her spots and did what she needed to do to survive each vote, right? So if you have a little bit of athletic talent, it could get you a long way if you play like Sandra, where you have the smarts and wiles of Sandra. You're not going to beast through.
But she's on this blue tribe, which we know is maybe underpowered in challenges, right?
Well, this is very what everyone thinks about Kim. Her tribe mates viewed her as a leader, and her alliance members followed her lead. She didn't go into the game trying to be a super manipulative and deceptive. I felt like she just tried to be authentic as she could in a game like Survivor. Okay, so I have a few things to say about this. One, the season Kim Spradlin won was one of the worst casts I think they ever put together. It was terrible.
I hated that format that year too.
Yeah, the format sucked. Everything about that season was awful, god awful. And so when people say, "Oh, Kim Spradlin is one of the best players ever," she played with a bunch of bozos for the most part, and you know, and that, all credit to her, she navigated through the bozos, which is hard, but nonetheless. Second, the thing about you know, the idea that you're going to get through Survivor as this authentic with no blood on your hands to the end of the game is not going to happen. No. You know, so you're going to get booted out if you feel like you want to play that way,
especially modern Survivor.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So, when a lot of people talk about like these past Survivor players, it's like they're describing statues, right? Like it's like this the legend of Kim Spradlin, not necessarily what the reality of Kim Spradlin was, you know, or the legacy. Kind of a guy, but like, okay, we have just back to Tori. So Tori's on this blue tribe. She's a pageant queen, and the next pick in the draft at 12th overall was Romeo, who is a pageant coach.
Yep. And you know who hates pageant queens more than anyone? Pageant coaches.
So he's a pageant coach. He's 37 years old, from Los Angeles, now living in Norwalk, California. I'm not sure exactly where Norwalk is.
Let's look it up.
In that area.
I'll figure it out. I bet it's in the north.
His hobbies are traveling, beauty pageants, and Survivor. So,
oh no, he's from LA.
From LA, competitive, intuitive, smart. He's a bit impatient, so he would say that anybody who's slow, lazy, don't know how to read a room. Those are things he doesn't like.
Those aren't pet peeves.
Not pet peeves. Again, not pet peeves, but it's okay. One day people will get this question right. What is the accomplishment you are most proud of? Several. I have always dreamed of working in the industry, so I am. I dreamed of owning my own pageant, so I do. I dreamed of traveling the world, so I have. I've always accomplished my goals. Oh man, this guy is no good.
That's a little overconfident, buddy.
Yeah, okay. Norwalk is just a couple of miles away from Anaheim, so it's just away from in the middle of Los Angeles and Disneyland.
Yeah, this is a Jane's pick, by the way. So Romeo's on here with Tori, Roxroy, Zach, and Drea on the blue tribe. Okay,
Jane, I usually like your picks. It's a bad one. It's a bad one.
She was talking about him before even the draft. She's like, "Oh, there's Romeo. He's 37 years old. He's from he's a pageant coach." Romeo Escobar, too. So
I think he's going to have a very similar ending to his namesake. Jeez.
Okay, you know how a lot of people were saying like my pet peeve is people who think they're right about everything and have to be right and can't admit they're wrong. He literally says, "What is something we would never know about from looking at you?" And he says how competitive I am because I'm a small and gay Latino man. People always underestimate me. I love proving them wrong. I hate losing or being wrong. I always want to have the right answer and win everything I do.
I don't like this guy's chances, quite frankly, because he seems like he's too full of himself. He's overconfident.
Yeah, I think it's like I think he's trying too hard to give the producer the answer they want as well. Like I think it's a little bit I think that's like the pageant side of him coming out. It's like I want to end world hunger. It's like okay, great.
It's how he ends his things. Like why do you believe you can be the sole survivor? I know I can be the final survivor because I am likable enough and persuasive enough to convince people to vote for me. I always find a way to get what I want. Didn't I tell you this?
The person he's gonna be pure drama. Who do you play the game like? I don't play like anyone else before, but I want to achieve a great historical moments like Sandra, Sari, Parvati, Rupert, Rob. I want to be remembered. Like when people say they want to be remembered, I think of one or two things. You're gonna flame out, or you're gonna kill people.
He didn't answer the question.
No, it's just like who's played Survivor? Do you know like names of past Survivor people? Yeah, Sari, Boston Rob, blah, 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 whatever.
Like this guy is so egotistical that he couldn't even compare himself to anybody that has played Survivor. He's that unique.
Francesca. There you go.
Yeah, it might be a bit of a. He'll eat that rock. Okay.
All right. So Romeo. Okay, I think Romeo. I don't like your chances, Romeo, and we don't like your tribe's chances for that matter, because I don't even think he can be necessarily kept safe.
I think we got the first boot right there.
Could be the first boot right
That's okay,
there.
that's
He's looking not too. Okay, let's talk about the 13th overall. Hi. I'm not saying hi to you guys. I'm saying hi, gang.
Young.
Or Zhang. Hi, Zhang. 29 years old from New Orleans, Louisiana. On the Green Tribe, Hi is. Where is this Green Tribe?
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think? Okay. Oh, yeah. He's I guess he's lived in Atlanta, but he's also he's Vietnamese. He is originally from Vietnam. Data scientist. He's traveled to new cities. He likes to use brings his dogs to dog parks. Recreates his favorite dishes from scratch using recipes he finds online. Okay, whatever.
So you follow recipes. Congratulations.
You know what, guys? You don't want to see what I can do with a cookbook.
I can cook a HelloFresh like nobody's business.
Yeah. When I get that cookbook, it's on.
Slight detour. Like, don't hype up your cooking. You can cook, say you can cook, and just walk away from it. I can recreate my favorite dishes from scratch, so you can cook. That's it. Don't try. Why are you using 20 words to describe one thing?
Like saying I can recreate some of my favorite paintings. It's like, okay, so you can paint.
He's aggressive, astute, and audacious. Those were his 3 words, all with his. He hates judgmental people. Who I love them.
Hate me.
I love judgmental people.
Hey, I can take them.
Looking down on someone for their lifestyle or choices because they're not the same as you is so stupid. I hate patronizing people who talk down to others.
Lord.
Okay. Oh, and I hate when people wear shoes in my house.
Okay.
So he's a regular Asian person.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just an Asian guy thing.
Yeah. His most proud accomplishment is he's the first person from his family to go to college and then graduate. Bought his first home at 24 years old. Paid off all his student loans by 26. He is the youngest associate director of analytics at a company by age 27. This guy is he's just like Romeo. This guy, hi. He's just but he's on the Green Tribe. I am the youngest. Most importantly.
Listen to this answer. They asked him what survivor he's most like. He says poverty, but I'm not hot nor charming. So how are you like poverty?
Yeah. Realistically, I'm similar to Aubrey. What? Okay. How are you like Aubrey?
And then he says she was just a strategic mastermind. She understood.
She was?
Aubrey? Yeah, Aubrey was.
She was a good player, but I thought she kind of failed at the end game.
Well, yeah, she lost to Michelle Fitzgerald, who kind of, when you look back at that season, Aubrey was playing a very strategic game, but everyone saw that she was playing a very strategic game, and people underestimated how good Michelle Fitzgerald was in terms of her management of people and of
Aubrey didn't manage the jury.
Yeah, Sia.
She's also non-threatening, similar to myself, so I'll focus on keeping bigger physical and social threats around to ensure myself a shield. She was also not afraid to cross alliance lines and work with people who could further game. Don't rule anyone out.
Yes.
She has a very good feeling about Romeo. He's also an Escobar. I don't think he's related to Pablo Escobar.
Does he have an island? Do they have a fire fest there?
I think I have a fire festival. Ja Rule will be there.
Someone will go to jail. I don't know. Why do you believe you're going to be the survivor? Because I'm logical, and because I can read social situations, and he says amazing speaking abilities.
Yeah, I don't know. He says that to a New Yorker and see how well that works.
Right.
Talk.
I think he's his attitude's got to kind of come down a notch a bit. He's a little entitled.
I think he's an incredibly driven person, and he's used to getting what he wants. And he does really remind me of how Romeo kind of describes himself.
So I love people like that because you want to see what happens to them when they don't get what they want or what they think that they deserve.
And I think producers cast people like this on purpose because they want the exact
they want
thing.
conflict,
yeah, but they want that exact thing like that Jaemeel just said. Like they want like the audience to like kind of judge this person immediately and then watch him get his comeuppance.
right.
And that's what reality TV is all about at the end of the day. Let's face it.
Let's get to a real pick.
Okay, what did you do? Who did you pick, Dave?
The other Canadian.
The other Canadian.
Yeah, of course.
What, Marianne?
So yeah, I took on the Orange Tribe at 14th overall, Marianne Oketch, a 24-year-old from Ajax, Ontario, Canada, born and raised in Ajax. Marianne. So I got both of the Canadians, Omar and Marianne. Of course, there's there's also Drea, who lives in Montreal, but she's not actually from Canada originally. So Marianne,
there's a shame there's no Betty on this season.
There's no. What do you mean, Betty?
So I can have Betty and Marianne chirp at each other like like Letterkenny.
Oh, I don't know what Letterkenny references.
You don't know? Oh,
sorry,
dude. Marianne and Betty are stuff of legends.
Marianne from Gilligan's Island might be more of a reference.
Oh, don't get Sam excited now.
I know.
Sam will be popping off on this.
Maybe like you said Gilligan's Island. Get onto it. She's a seminary student, which is like to become a pastor, right? Like is that what she's sort of studying for? She plays tabletop video games. She likes reading and snowboarding. Energetic, empathic, and chaotic are her three descriptive adjectives. And her pet peeves are when people don't listen to her, people who walk slowly in front of her, anything that disrupts her sleep. She also just hypocrites and people who don't apologize.
Lord, get ready.
Yeah, there's a lot of I don't know, Dave. I don't know about this pick. I don't like people.
Her and Omar are going to be a pair, man. They are going to be ride or die. They're both on the Orange Tribe together. They are literally two GO train stops apart from each other.
Yeah, they could be, or they could absolutely hate each other because they, the thing is, like, I don't know, people who like say stuff like this, I'm always kind of like, you do realize you're going on to like a game show here where you have to like get along and get to the end, like no matter what. Like that's the whole thing with these shows. Like if these things bother you that much, they're your pet peeves, and that's a lot of like you're gonna encounter all of those things probably within this game. Other than maybe someone walking slowly in front of you, which that bothers me. I get that. That was the best answer she had for the pet peeves. Everything else is like when people don't listen to me. People aren't going to listen to you in the show at times. Trust me. Anything that disrupts my sleep, you're going to be sleeping right next to a guy that's snoring. Hypocrites, get ready for that. And then people who don't apologize, you're not getting a single apology in this show. So, every one of those things.
You're not in a sincere
one. You know what I'm interested in? Are we going to get our first ever big Christian alliance?
Well, we've had one before. That was the coach season.
Was that really a Christian specifically?
It was like a cult.
It was a cult that used Christianity as like its.
Are we going to get it this season?
It could happen.
There's a lot of religious God talk in these bios. Like it's and Marianne is. She doesn't even have to mention it. We just know she's a seminary student. So, but
she's like, it's just a job. It's just the job.
If she starts having a conversation with Tori, hey, who's your hero? Jesus. Oh, really? Me too.
Expect me was it from Guardians of the Galaxy? What do you expect me to say? Jesus? Who's your master? What do you expect me to say? Jesus?
Jesus.
Oh my gosh, she's mine too.
What is the accomplishment you are most proud of? Writing an article for my school newspaper that led me to be invited to consult with my university's equity and inclusion officer on creating a better framework to support for Black students at McMaster University. Being able to use my voice for change that not only benefited me was so empowering.
That
was a long-winded answer.
That first part is going to be on her resume until the day she dies. Like, that is going to be on her. That's going to be on her cover letter.
It checks a lot of boxes. Yeah. I lost.
And this is where her and Tori are going to have some trouble. My hero is my mother. She was born to poverty in a village in Kenya, the youngest of 5. All right. I think that there's going to be like a lot.
She then gave up all of her support for her father's dreams. Then he became a doctor in Canada while having 3 children while dealing with the systemic racism in academic medicine. Well, her and Omar are going to get together. They both hate systemic racism. So that will...
Yeah, I think you're right. They will be a pair, and then the other 4 are going to want to vote them out. I agree with you that they're going to be a pair.
I aspire to be like her. She changed my life. Which Survivor player will you be most like? Davey! 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 Davey was someone who had loyalty to many people, had a strong core alliance, and was social.
That is Bob.
Not only is he able to find idols and win challenges and play idols correctly to further his game, but most of all, Davey had so much fun when he was on the island, no matter if he was on top or the bottom of his tribe. Davey had the path to 6th place, and I will perfect it to first.
Davey Rickenbacker. I forgot about Davey Rickenbacker.
Davey Rickenbacker.
Davey.
He finished 6th place.
Yeah, he did.
I remember Jane had him that year in that draft. I didn't take him. Like everyone expected me to take. What season was he on? Was it
David versus Goliath?
Oh yeah, he was the Davey on the David side.
Do you want to hear who he said was his hero? Davey Rickenbacker? Yeah. So listen to his answer. It's a fantastic answer.
Was it Marianne?
He says, Rick Grimes is my hero. Though he is a fictional character, I've learned so much from him. From leadership skills to dealing with new people and new surroundings. The lead character in The Walking Dead, Rick leads a group of average individuals who become stronger because of his teachings and experiences. He defeats all of his enemies in a strategic and calculating way. Rick is dedicated to the title that his group...
Strategic and calculating way. He hacked Garth up into bits with a machete in a church.
Look, he's dedicated to the title that gives his group has given him, and is a provider for his family and friends. Like myself, he has good days and bad days, but never gives up. I challenge Rick in a crisis, and it helps me stable my mind while having a little fun in the process. Yeah, okay.
So good.
Love it.
So good. Who did better than Davey? You have Allison, Kara, Angelina, Mike White, and the eventual winner, Nick Wilson.
Right.
the stockish vampire.
Yes. I like Davey was a memorable player, like from an entertainment point of view, but like as a Survivor player, like I don't know. If he's worth, I'm sure he was thrilled to read that when he came up. Oh my God, someone loved him.
He was the person who was voted out right after Christian Hibicki.
Oh yes. I didn't know. I forgot he got that deep in the game. Okay.
Just on Marianne, she believes she will win Survivor because I am a social person and Survivor at its core is a numbers game. Okay. I have lived in diverse cities and also been in situations where I was the only Black person. But in every situation, I thrived. And Survivor is another place where my resilience and personality will shine. Also, I never go down without a fight. When all hope is lost, I will be searching for idols, talking to people, and convincing them that me staying is the best for everyone. I'm going on Survivor to win, and I will do everything in my power to do so.
Social awareness is on a low here.
I'm not getting great vibes. She is at my lower two. I wasn't even necessarily like when she was still. I was actually hoping to take Jonathan with my second pick, but you took him at 8, Jeff. So I ended up saying, well, I think like I would like to see Marianne and Omar.
You doubled down with Canada.
I doubled down with Canada because Erica just would become the first Canadian winner. She won the season. Jeff, you knew the thrill of seeing the hometown player win the game. I'm going for the same thing.
It's going to be another 41 seasons of Survivor before another Canadian wins it.
I don't see this Canadian winning. I could see maybe in a blue moon. I could see Omar winning, but I just don't see this girl winning.
To our first Canadian winner.
To Erica.
To Erica.
Okay, Marianne, and then we get down to the final 4. This is when we get back to Amanda and Jaemeel because they had the first 2 picks, and we had because the 18 didn't quite divide by 8, we had to head out the next 4. So the last 4 were Jenny, Swati, Maria, was it Maria,
whatever.
and Lydia. Anyway, so Jenny from the Green Tribe ends up getting the next pick from Amanda. Jenny Kim, a 43-year-old from Brooklyn, New York. Where's my picture of Jenny? Jenny.
Yes, she's from New York. Her occupation is a creative director. Her favorite hobbies include traveling, Pilates, writing, and watching movies. So unlike previous people, she watches all movies, not necessarily just the good ones.
Right.
Yeah, she will watch a bad movie and she will enjoy it. What are her pet peeves?
Arrogant people and those with a sense of entitlement.
She's going to get along with this cast beautifully.
3 words to describe herself: direct, open, and compassionate. Okay.
Direct, open, and compassionate. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what to make of Jenny. Like Jenny, like she's either gonna do really well or really poorly, I think. Okay, her hero is her husband. He left Australia to follow his dream to live in New York with 2 suitcases and enough money to only last a few months. He's not afraid to try something different and take risks. He saved me from settling in life and inspires me to always strive for more.
Also, started watching Survivor around season 30 or something because she picked Kelly Wentworth and Lauren Beck as her 2 survivors that she's most like. I get why is Lauren Beck so popular, and also Kelly Wentworth? Like, I get why she was popular, but like, it's like you either now. It used to be Parvati. Everyone picked Parvati. Now it's either you're Kim Spradlin or Kelly Wentworth. There's no other girls have played this game.
And is that only because they've seen them on like season 40?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Well, was Kelly Wentworth on season 40?
Yeah, no, but she was on the one right before it.
Wasn't she? Yeah. She was Edge of Extinction, Samuel Dosser, and
it was on the one where they only brought 3 people back or whatever.
Cambodia, Samuel Dosser, and Edge of Extinction.
I never thought she was that good.
Yeah, she played 3 times. She never made it to the end.
Yeah, she was good enough to get to jury, and that was kind of her game. And like she always was targeted because everyone saw her as a threat. And it was like, okay, well, Kelly Wentworth, good for you. Like,
well, she got Savage out, so people love that.
Yeah, she had a couple good idol plays, and if you have a good idol play, that's like you're brought back, you're remembered, and I can understand that. But at the same time, yeah, I think also her first season in Samuel Dessert, she kind of got a rough go because her dad kind of like sewered her. So
Dale, yeah. I love Dale.
Now, Jenny claims to have a high emotional intelligence, EQ for short. This is how she reads people well and understands what they are feeling. Great listener, leader, and knows how to gain trust. Could it be that Jenny is a Pisces?
Could be.
Well, that doesn't sound like a Pisces.
Oh, it does.
Sounds like an Aries to me.
I don't know. Emotional intelligence, I don't know. Aries, I don't know.
Right.
Okay.
All right. But Jenny, I don't know what to make of Jenny. Like, she could be good, but I think she's a wild card. I think that overall.
I think she went late in this draft for a reason. I think she had a tough time even answering these questions. So when it comes to like the game, I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know. I think I see her as somebody that's like a little bit more solo. I think she'll be a bit of a wild card type player. A swing vote and then get and then piss people off and then get voted out. It's like that kind of player.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, moving on to our final 3 here. So Swati Gold taken 16th overall. 19 years old from Palo Alto, California.
Yep.
An Ivy League student. Where'd she go? Did she go to Berkeley?
Berkeley.
That'd be near there. So she reads on the beach. She's a theater. That's one of her hobbies, and all things Survivor. Competent, charismatic, and caring. Swati Gold. Oh, so Jaemeel, you got Swati. She's on the Blue Tribe. And so she's the last member of the Blue Tribe we have to talk about, along with Romeo and Tori and Roxroy and Zach and Drea. So interesting. Do you feel confident with this pick? Do you feel like you got her at steal here, or do you feel like you were kind of saddled with Swati?
In terms of the last bit, including Jenny, I felt totally fine with Swati. Look, she enlisted in the Army National Guard, right? Yeah, like there's a level of ability if you're gonna do that.
She was
So-
raised to prioritize things like service to her country and the world.
Yep.
Service to the world.
Yep.
Well, and specifically her country.
Who raised? Right. Okay. Moving on.
Who's her hero?
Her hero is Elon Musk. What? Elon Musk?
Yeah.
My life's mission is to change the world for the better. Wasn't Elon Musk like funding those Ottawa convoy protesters or something?
When he didn't build something from Tesla. He took Tesla, bought it from someone else, and then continued to fund it. He didn't make Tesla. People people seem to forget about that.
I'm just not sure about this player. I think she is too
Who do you play the game most like?
Chaos
Victoria.
Cast and Victoria Beaumont. Who is Victoria Beaumont?
Victoria Beaumonde. I thought Beaumonde.
Beaumonde? I don't really remember that player.
She is from Edge of Extinction.
The redhead with the
okay, Victoria.
Okay.
Victoria actually was doing pretty well, and unfortunately, she kind of got screwed over by the Edge of Extinction twist, and got kind of exposed as a jury threat later near the end. But she was playing a really good, underrated game.
Yeah, yes, right, and then she mentions she took out Aubrey in that season. Yeah, she did play. She was playing well, but that season was such a train wreck by the end that I remember she got screwed, and a couple other players like Rick Devens kind of got screwed. Let's be real in that season.
No one ever says I want to play like Rick Devens.
Yeah, I know, right? And that would make more sense because he actually played really well.
He got screwed over by the stupid Edge of Extinction and the 2-person immunity twist.
Yeah.
Chaos Cast, I don't understand. That is
I don't know what to make. Yeah, Swati is kind of I don't know. Swati's another wild card. We're getting down to the end of this draft. Like these answers.
Out of the remaining 4, I thought that she was the better pick.
I think she's fine, but I think she could be a dark horse in this, and she could do well. But I'm not. There's so much seemingly social unawareness among this cast, they're a little bit overconfident. Many of them. It'll be interesting to see. But again, like you're saying, Jeff, they might just be giving the answers that they think the producers want. And
I just think with her, she's 19 years old. Yes, she's smart, but she's not seasoned with the world yet, and I think she's coming into a cast that is very mature. So I just don't know if that's going to work out. If she was playing David versus Goliath, sure. Or Millennials versus Gen X, sure. But not this season.
Jeff, you say that, but I'm looking at these older people and they look like they're just as or even more emotionally immature. And there's no excuse for them. I think there's going to be more tolerance with Swati versus the other people that we've talked about earlier.
Who was that girl though that I forget what season it was, but she was she came in all gung ho. She was young. I think she was Indian as well. And
the one that had bowel intestinal issues.
Yes, her. I'm just getting a lot of the same kind of vibes from her. And I picked her. I thought she was going to do well, and then it didn't work out. Everyone hated her and just kept her around to get rid of her later. So that might happen.
That was a brutal. What was her name? And she just gave everyone a hard time too.
Yeah, was that on Millennials versus Gen X, or was that on?
No, I think that was after. Keep going. I'll find her.
Hold on, I just have to save something quickly. The next one in our draft was Mari. Is it Maria?
Maria.
Maria.
I picked accidentally. But
yeah, you thought it was Marianne, but it's not. It's Maria. She's a 47-year-old from Noblesville, Indiana, originally from Lansing, Michigan. A stay-at-home mom on the Orange tribe. Drafted by Jaemeel, second to last. She's her hobbies include gardening, writing, poetry, and spoken word, and Pilates. She describes herself as spicy, smart, and loving. Her pet peeves include when someone has a big old snuffleupagus sneeze and doesn't cover their nose. Oh my! And mean people.
Oh, she's ready. She's ready for this game. So ready.
So ready.
Yeah. What else about Maria? I think we should call her Maria.
Maria.
Who is your hero and why? Kiosk Kelly. Kiosk was the first nurse in New York to die of COVID-19. He gave his life for others. He was dearly loved and respected nurse. He passed on March 24th, 2020. Kiosk was my brother. Oh, okay. And then which part of Survivor will you play the game most like? Ironically, a mix between Angelina and Tony. Okay. After Angelina's turbulent first few weeks, she slipped under the radar and made it to the end. Tony brought an upbeat, funny, and light energy. By the time he was recognized as a threat, it was too late.
Right.
You're not playing like Tony.
Yeah, he's a unicorn. Good luck. To try, you're not. Yeah, no. These are the type of players where it's like you're not gonna play like them, because like their personality made them who they are, and like without that, they would have been out so fast. Especially seeing Tony. This lady, I think she could do okay, but she has to avoid the first boot or the second boot, because that's probably what's going to happen to her. Is like she's going to be looked at as a liability, and so if they take her out early, then obviously she's going to lose. But then if she can survive a little bit, then she won't be a threat, and then I think she could, you could see her at the end type thing. And
Jeff, to answer your question, it's Karishma.
Karishma, that was her. Yes, she reminds me a lot of Karishma. Very similar.
Now, why did I pick her versus Lydia?
Yeah, well, okay. Well, I think I know why, but why don't you tell me why?
Okay. Here's the absolute truth when it comes to comedians, right? Or people who in general think they're funny. They possibly are very funny. Not everyone wants to hear a joke or wants to hear you attempt a joke, right? If you're a comedian, one thing about your personality is you try to you're not on all the time. You may be witty, but you're not on all the time. Lydia gives me the vibe that she's on all the time. Yeah. And that spells disaster.
Lydia kind of reminds me of Brittany from Big Brother. It's me. She gives me that vibe.
She feels like she's gonna be on all the time, and that's a no-go. Not with this season.
Right, like I love how she says, funny, but then she says pet peeves when you waste my time, when people waste my time. Okay. And then she says, who's your hero? Kristen Wiig. She's so funny.
Are we still talking about Maria?
I went to Lydia.
We've moved on from Maria.
We've moved on from Maria. There's not much to say, Dave. There's about
Lydia.
Maria.
Just go to Lydia.
We just go to Lydia. There's a lot to say.
Okay, Lydia. Sorry, I was trying to because we're getting to the end here.
22 years old, from Fredericksburg, Virginia, lives in Santa Monica though,
and she's a waitress, so that means she's trying to make it big.
Right. Maybe she's like a comedy writer or something, and that's why she's in LA.
I bet she.
But this is what made me not want to draft her, was when in under favorite hobbies, it goes to like music, going to music festivals, roller skating, and then going to the movies by myself.
I do that sometimes.
I do it sometimes.
Just say you go to the movies.
The by myself thing, basically, it's like if I put that in my bio, I'd be like, well, they're gonna think like I'm a loner. You know what I mean?
I think she is a loner.
I think everything that you need to say about her is in which past survivors do you play your game most like.
What was her answer on that one?
I think Tom Westman, he was honest but still a great player. Tom Westman was a beast, a physical beast, right?
I don't know how she's gonna play like Tom West.
Also, Cerise, she was a great social player. I'll carry my own in challenges, but dominate socially. Maybe a little crazy like Debbie. Debbie. No. That is the whammy. No, thank you. I am not picking you. I am not picking you, Debbie.
While we're on to Lydia, it might be a good time to just quickly just show here. This is her tribe. This is the Green Tribe, and we are now through the entire cast, right? So this includes Swati. Not Swati. It includes Jenny.
This is the tribe that's gonna do bad.
Jenny, Hi. We got Mike Turner. We got Chanel, and we have Daniel over here. This does not spark confidence.
What if this is Lydia dressed in? What is going on? Why does she have like a suit jacket on?
Is this like what she got shipwrecked on? No,
they dress them. Like I don't think it's like. I mean, maybe she chose it because when you get cold at night. If it's for that reason, then I like it. But
why does Jenny look like that is part of her like gi?
Right. Yeah. Yes. She's literally about to go kick some ass. That's what Jenny looks like. She looks like she's right out of a martial arts movie or something.
Yeah. Okay. That's the Green Tribe. Let's talk about just quickly here the Orange Tribe. Which I have two people on this tribe. So this is Jackson, which was Jaemeel's pick. We got Omar, who I took from Whitby, Ontario. We got Jonathan. We got Lindsay,
who looks like a beast in that, like a big huge bear.
Yeah, he does.
What do you guys love Omar's shirt?
Yeah, sure. He looks good.
Okay.
Yeah, he's tucked in. He's got
Omar and Jackson have similar shirts.
Omar looks like he's about to go work at a restaurant.
Omar, he'll seat you, no problem.
Casa Bonita.
Yeah.
Right. And,
this whole picture, it looks like they run a Caribbean restaurant or something.
Yeah.
Like that's what it looks like.
Did everyone know that Orange is part of the
they look like they're the kitchen staff somewhere.
We got Jackson's the chef. We got Jonathan's the bouncer. We got Omar's the waiter.
Who's Maria?
Mari's the bartender.
That hat.
And then
what's with that hat? Why that hat that Maria's got on with the leopard?
She just came from France, so what you don't see is the baguette she has underneath her arms.
Right, of course, it's very French. She was headed home to Noblesville, Indiana. We got Marianne here. Okay, so I think this tribe is better than the Green Tribe. We all agree, at least on paper. But will they do well? And then just to close it out, here is the Blue Tribe. The Blue Tribe, including Drea and Zach and Roxroy and Tori and Romeo and Swati. So
this tribe's going to be the hated tribe to watch. I think. I just think this is the tribe that's everyone's not going to enjoy.
I think this is the tribe most likely to kill each other.
Yes, I think so. Yeah. I don't think this is oil and water. This tribe.
Yeah,
yep.
But I think that they'll do well competitively. I think they'll win. I don't think that they're going to have to lose a member for a while.
Yeah,
until they throw a challenge.
Yeah, I think they will win a lot too. I agree.
Right.
Until they throw a challenge.
So that's all 18 not house guests, 18 castaways. It's Survivor, not Big Brother. That's all 18 castaways on Survivor. That's all three tribes. And we will be here to talk about the premiere in just a few days when this comes out. You feeling good about the season, guys?
Yeah, I think it'll be kind of different to the fact that I think we're seeing some just normal people play the game, so that's good.
Yes, normal people for the win, please.
Normal people for the win. And do you think that? I guess we had so many themes in the 30s, in the 30 seasons, right? It was healers versus hustlers versus whatever it was, or no collar, blue collar, white collar, and we did all kinds of different things. Do you think that that's over now, that those themes are done, and we're going to keep getting seasons like this, 41 and 42, which are just
waves? It's waves.
I think we're going to get 10 seasons of this rapid version of Survivor. where it's like 26 days or whatever, and you know what I mean.
Well,
Like I think
because this is still so 41 and 42 are the, I guess, pandemic seasons, if we want to call them that. They were done on in kind of different times, and
Gas leak season.
they will have like again they did the winner there. They voted for the winner on site, so they're not going to do that live reveal in Los Angeles or wherever they do the finale,
Which they don't need. I hate I don't need the Los Angeles. Oh, look, everyone! I'm getting on a plane, or
Yeah.
just do the vote there.
I think it's better. I think it's fine to do the vote there for sure. And so it'll be interesting to see what comes after 42 in particular. Will we get a condensed season? Will they do the vote there, or will they try to go back to the old format of having an audience or not? Or will we get themes again? Will we get gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal? Or you're a bronze medal. You'd like to be in third place.
Just cast well, and the season take care of itself. You don't need to rely on these things.
yeah,
That's true.
I agree with that. I think like I would I know they're not going to do it for a long time, but I enjoyed when the theme was like the place,
Yeah.
like
They go back to Fiji so much though.
it's just they're in Fiji, so I get why it's just called a number at this point. You're in Fiji every single year.
I guess they
know.
they gave up on like trying to sell the place to us, and they're just
Mhm.
like, mostly people just want to see people shipwrecked on an island playing survive this social game, and whether they're in China or whether they're in Guatemala, it doesn't really matter. It's like
It becomes harder because like getting the gear, they don't know that they would have to learn the lay of the land and how it's going to be produced. So unless you're doing something where you're getting a visual experience, it's going to just translate to more viewers. Why even bother at this point?
I get why. I understand. Like, and there's only so many places you can go in the world, and they always want to be somewhere warm. And I get it. I understand why it's the way it is. But
Unless the place gives them like a tax break or something.
yeah, like I think like when you're dividing people by like what jobs they do or how old they are, it's kind of at a certain point you can only do that so much. It gets old, just like the places get old.
Okay, and what else do we got coming up here with this season? I've run out of things to say.
Wednesday is when the episode is, so we'll
Wednesday.
see you all on Wednesday. What else does Super Mater Brothers do?
Super Mater Brothers does coverage right now of Big Brother Canada 10 with your Moose. I don't have any Moose sound bites yet, but we
Just do the theme song, dude.
Anyway, we thought there was going to be an episode tonight. We thought episode 3 would be tonight, but it's not. It's actually going to be tomorrow night. I'm not sure if you guys are able to do that because I got the Enterprise podcast, and I'm not sure what time.
Tomorrow night I can't. I have to work. So.
Okay, Jaemeel, are you free tomorrow night?
I am free tomorrow night.
Okay, if you want to, we can skip it.
I'm really not happy about this because they're gonna be. I think Mondays is gonna be 7 p.m. and like,
I'm okay with skipping Monday if you want. If we'll do what we can. We'll do what we can where we can.
Just follow the socials. Follow us on Facebook. You'll see we'll indicate when the next episode is.
Big Brother Canada 10. We just finished up our coverage of Celebrity Big Brother 3 from the US version. And not too long ago, we talked about Survivor Season 41. So if you want to check out all those podcasts, go into our playlist, whether it be on YouTube or Facebook. Plus, we cover other things that are not reality shows, like movies and TV. Most recently, we talked about Ozark, the beginning of that season. We also like to talk about Marvel and things like that, including MCU projects like Hawkeye. Moon Knight is coming up in the near future. Plus, all kinds of things. Westworld, Jeff.
Mm-hmm. All coming back finally.
All kinds of things on Super Mario Brothers podcasting. So check out our different announcements, things we're going to cover. Let us know if you want us to cover something, and we will podcast about it. And we have 2 other channels. One is called Trivial Debates, a monthly show where we argue about movies, TV, sports in a game show format. Jeff Mater just competing most recently. Jaemeel Robinson also was competing and going against Jody Simpson and Max Duda in that episode. We did that on February 27th, 2022. You can listen to that over on Trivial Debates. Any one of our different channels over there. And Live Long and Podcast is our Star Trek theme channel where we talk about Star Trek all the time. Monday nights, Star Trek Enterprise, going through all those episodes. Tomorrow night's episode is Shadows of Pajem, talking about Captain Archer, tussling around with some Vulcans and some Andorians. You want to hear about that? Check it out on Live Long and Podcast. Tuesday nights is Star Trek Deep Space Nine rewatch. We've been doing that for 2 years, going through every episode of Deep Space Nine one by one. We are up to season 5 now, and you can come in and listen to that. This episode this week is called I forget what it's called, but it's the one where Odo kind of pulls everyone into like the demons of his past.
Right. We get the old Terok Nor story.
The old Terok Nor story, as you would. The episode is called Things Past. It's a great episode of Deep Space Nine. Check that out. Jeff Mader will be talking about that with Davin Scalehorn and Jaemeel Robinson and the Millards over on Tuesday night. I won't be able to make that one. And then this Thursday, we will be talking about both Star Trek Picard and Star Trek Discovery, as they both have new episodes coming out. In the case of Picard, it will be season 2, episode 2. That will be covered by Jodie Simpson and Davin Scalehorn. And then on the other side, I'll be doing the Star Trek Discovery with Ashley Millard and Michael Chan. And Adam Woodward, I believe, will be going to the Picard podcast. But, it's always kind of up in the air. So we'll see what he does.
I might chop in on those every now and again, too. I did. You know what? I was impressed with the second half of that Picard episode. First half, not as much, but second half was good.
I liked it. It was kind of a mixed bag on the newest episode. But Jodie and Davin friggin' loved it, and so did Adam Woodward. So there's definitely a lot of excitement in the Star Trek community about Picard, and I think what Discovery is doing is very interesting as well.
Michael Chan's own is on.
Yes, Discovery owns Michael Chan's own.
Discovery's own Michael Chan. And in case you didn't know, we also do a thing called Star Trek Radio Theater here on over on Live Long and Podcast wherever we can. Last night we did a new recording for our newest episode. It was the episode Hiding Q from Next Generation's first season. The 10th episode. I was playing Picard last night. We had Jodie Simpson playing Q, and we had Steve Shives from his YouTube channel called Steve Shives coming over to play Commander Riker, beardless Commander Riker, tempted with the powers of the Q. We had Discovery's own Michael Chan playing Commander Data, if he was Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then we had Jessica Chan playing Lieutenant Yar, if she was, who was she? She was like the angry hockey player or something like that. Yeah. And then Jeff was Geordie LaFord. We had Mott as Worf, which was funny. We had Jane Mader as Crusher. We had Kevin Millard as everyone's most hated member of the crew, Wesley Crusher, and at least the first season, Wesley Crusher. Anyway, so it was, and Ashley Millard is our narrator, of course. And it was a great episode. Really had fun. Can't wait to put out the final product of that. Check that live version out if you have not already. And we will be doing for First Contact in April. We're going to be doing the episode Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra.
Oh, so for First Contact Day, we're doing Darmok.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be good because it's kind of a first contact.
It is.
It's like a second.
Okay.
Contact, but
also,
anyway.
We need to talk about.
Let's talk about fighting games. A podcast done by my son Eamon Mader under his alias Sam Jerka. I don't know if you know, but they talk about Biken. They talk about Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and they talk about Street Fighter and stuff like that. And if you want to know about those games, you want to hear about video games, go over and check out Eamon Mader's podcast. He does under his alias Sam Jerka with Sonic Smash Bros. Seth and Paranoia. Check it out.
What number of Street Fighter are they on? Or do you know which Street Fighter?
Street Fighter 5? One more. 6?
One more. Yes. Okay.
7? I don't know.
No, 6.
I'm not on that show. I just know it exists. And
when are you going to guest star on the show?
I'll let him know. We got some guests going on, Eamon. Also, check out Davin Scalehorn's podcast. He's got Locutors of Trek, his own Star Trek podcast. So there's all kinds of things. He does trivia, he does debates, he does all kinds of different segments, writer room segments. He's got a lot of imagination going on there at Locutors of Trek and X-Men the Animated Series, X-rated. Every Tuesday, he talks about a new one of the episodes of Star Trek, or not Star Trek, X-Men the Animated Series. I was on to talk about
Till Death Do Us Part 1.
Till Death Do Us Part 1. And this Tuesday
I'm going to be on for Part 2.
Part 2, which I also did watch last week. I just watched both of them. So have a lot of fun. I'm sure you will. You'll be on there with Andre and Davin this Tuesday before Deep Space Nine at 9ish. So all kinds of great podcasts going on. I think we mentioned everybody. All right, let's
Michael Chan's one.
And Michael Chan's got the Hellbound podcast with Alex Blackburn every Wednesday.
Now you got everyone.
I got everyone. Okay. Then we are going to go out here. We'll be back Wednesday to talk about the premiere of Survivor 42. And on that note, let's go out with some Jeff Probst. Okay, come on. Here we go.
To me, it's about this. What happens when you put a group of people and force them to live together in a jungle, a real jungle, and rely on each other? It's amazing.
It's amazing.